So here it is. We saw that diaphragm equals power, letter for letter, building, and equals glory, letter for letter, building. But the name of the Father is power. That is one of the personal names of God the Father. Matthew 26:64. Jesus, this is such an epic moment in the ordained life of Christ. He's standing before the council, and the high priest says, I adjure thee by the living God, as in Father, that thou tell us whether thou be the Christ, the Son of God. Jesus saith unto him, Thou hast said. Now I'm going to jump to Young's literal translation because he copies the Greek words like as closely as possible a transliteration into English, so the order is maintained. So I'm going to read Young's literal translation. Sometimes it sounds like funny English, but it's the most accurate to the Greek, in my opinion. So Young's literal translation: Jesus saith to him, Thou hast said, Nevertheless, I say to you, hereafter ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the power, and coming upon the clouds of the heaven. Okay, that is a literal translation of the Greek. Okay, so I always go to Young's literal translation because he is sticky to what the Greek actually reads in English. Okay, so I noticed that it says the power, okay, as in the one and only Father, God, who is power, the very definition of power. Like Jesus never said, I have truth. He said, I am the truth. And now I'm seeing the same thing with God the Father. It's not like he says, I have power. It's like he says, I am power. It's like I always was and I always will be. Pure power. Okay. So, now, Greek scholars, obviously, I really do trust Young's literal translation quite well. I noticed, looking at the other at many of the other English translations, is that they a lot of them don't have the word "the" in front. But I really do trust. Well, let's go to the Greek. I know at the right hand. Yeah, no, I see the in Greek is there. You shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the power, the dynamos, as in Father, the power, and coming in the clouds of heaven. So that is an official title of the Father, power. Okay, and we amazingly we saw the diaphragm. Okay, mouth equals power. God created God the Father. I believe you have to think to yourself, were all three members of the Trinity speaking in Genesis chapter 1 when it says, and God said, let there be light? I believe at this point that it was God the Father alone who was speaking. We don't know. All three of them could have been speaking in harmony. They very well could have been. They very well could, because the word God used in Genesis, and God said is Elohim, which is God's, plural. So it may very well have been that Father, Son, and Holy Ghost were speaking in perfect synchronization. Let there be light. Three voices in perfect synchrony. That is stunning to think of. That is stunningly glorious. I believe that very well could be the case. We know for a fact, beyond all facts, that certainly God the Father was speaking, because Father is the kingpin. In my mind, it was definitely Father was speaking. Perhaps all three were speaking at once, but definitely Father was speaking. Because, okay, so, but anyway, so mouth equals power, diaphragm equals power, okay? But what was amazing is you could build the letters P-O-W-E-R from the letters diaphragm, letter for letter, and just like power equals glory. And Jesus said in the Lord's Prayer, thine, talking about the Father, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. He starts it with our Father who art in heaven. So thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory. So this word power belongs to God. And this is the famous verse where Jesus calls his Father power. Like, that's my Father's name. My Father is power. That is what his name is. And so we went to the Greek. We went to our favorite Young's literal translation, and I believe it should be translated just like Young's literal translation says. Jesus said, hereafter you shall see the Son of Man referring to himself, sitting on the right hand of the power. That is to say, the Father. Okay. So when we solve the diaphragm, we solve the word power in diaphragm and mouth. That gives glory to the Father, whose personal name is power. Okay. You shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the power. Father is the center. Jesus is on his right hand, but the power, Father, is the center. Just like mouth equals power, is the center of, and the diaphragm at the center of the body, the diaphragm equals the power, the mouth equals the power. You're just like, okay, this is real education. I love, just, this is such an epic speech. This is before before the whole council, all the people. Jesus completely silent this whole time with all these people accusing him of stuff. Amazing how, once you know it's all for the Father, and you see Jesus always pointing to the Father, Jesus said, put up thy sword into his place, sword goes to Father. Thinkest not that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? And angels equals Father. Like every last word that Jesus spoke mathematically goes to Father. You just bang, 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 bang. It's like this Father, Father, Father glory pile. I mean, put up thy sword into his place, Father. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Sword, Father. Thinkest that I not can pray to my Father? Father. Legions of angels. Angels equals Father. How then shall the scriptures be fulfilled? That thus it must be Father. B. 7 points. It's one of the smallest packages that parallels Father. B. It equals the F-A in Father. The first 2 letters. And the rest is 3s. How then thus it must be. Must goes to Father. Be goes to Father. It equals half a Father. You just like, no. It must be, because the sovereign Father ordained it. God the Father spoke through the prophets. Whenever God the Father speaks, the word has to come to pass. And that's what Jesus was saying. He says, how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled, that thus it must be? Jesus is saying, God my Father spoke through the prophets, writing the scriptures. Whenever God the Father speaks, it must come to pass. Okay? And then in that same hour said Jesus to the multitudes. And so now he's in front of the crowds. And then the disciples leave. They take him to the high priest. Peter is afar off. All the priests and elders are in the room. The whole council, everyone's trying to accuse him. False witnesses, saying junk. High priest rises up, is so frustrated. And he yells at Jesus, answerest thou nothing? Nothing is half a Father, Father. What is it which these witness against thee? Jesus held his peace. He's silent. And the high priest is really angry. And the high priest answered and said to him, I adjure thee by the living God, that is to say the Father, that thou tellest whether thou be the Christ, the Son of God. And then I'll read Young's literal translation. Jesus said to him, thou hast said, nevertheless I say to you, hereafter ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the power, and coming upon the clouds of the heaven. That's literal, of the heaven, like in the Greek. And then, wow. But, and so the power. So the diaphragm equals the power, equals the glory. The title of the Father. Okay. Just like the mouth equals the power, equals the glory. Okay. Amazing. A very critical gem. So we've been solving terms in anatomy. We did the respiratory system first pass today. We had also been solving precious metals, but nothing compares to the glory of the human body as far as physical things are concerned. So we've been solving terms in anatomy, and it has been most amazing. Okay. Alright, so all those videos are up, so I'm careful to be uploading things as quickly as I can, whether or not they have titles, that's fine. So yes, all of those videos are successfully up. Okay. Great. Wonderful. Okay. So we're solving anatomy terms, because God created the human body. Okay, and we're finding Father in all the greatest words of the parts of the human body, and all the other names of God as well, but Father in particular, the highest member of the Trinity. And it is amazing. So we did eye anatomy. I started in the book the other day, the sclera, which is the and this is so good for your brain. This you have to push your brain's limits. The sclera is the whites of your eyes, the pure white, which is common to everyone. The sclera is the white of your eye, and it goes all the way around the ball. But sclera equals Father. Okay, that's one obvious gem. Pupil equals Jesus. The word iris goes to Father, and then it gets so cool when you say the iris. Now you get the beautiful 3 plus 2 is 1 plus 1, just like in Father, with beautiful 6's left over, just like in Father. And then you realize that, like the word whole goes to Father, the pupil. You start to see, I love eye anatomy. You start to see the Father coming through in letters like the pupil. Okay, we know that pupil equals Jesus. Okay, but yeah, see, you get the two half fathers there. HEP, binding the two words together, the TI. So there's Father in the pupil, and then what's left over? Lord. Okay, so the pupil equals Lord, Father. Okay, I see that quite nicely. Very nice. Of course, yeah, pupil equals Jesus equals great I am. So when you say the pupil, that's the great I am. So sclera is Father. There was some amazing words. Like I was harvesting words in eye anatomy from the anatomy coloring book. The point where the retina ends, we know that retina is flawless for Father, is the ora, whatever it is, ora serrata. Google brought it up first. Ora serrata always solve the extremities of everything, because there's Father all over it. Ora serrata, I did it by hand, is double Father, perfectly in order. Slice it in half. Like this is the glory of God. So the ora serrata is basically the end of the line for the retina. Like your retina wraps around most of your eyeball, and then there's a stopping point when it's over. That is referred to as the ora serrata, which is the Father in order. So we know that retina goes to Father. It's Father plus 9. It equals water. Just pop off the eye. So the ora serrata is the serrated junction between the retina and the ciliary body. Okay. This junction, I love how anything that ends with a Y, that Y goes to Father. It equals the great name all. Y, 25, the highest plus 1 in any letter. Father, okay. So ciliary, body, okay. I need pay attention, plus 1s on the end of words. Father gets the last letter, okay. Ciliary, body. Okay, it's a very high sounding note. It's good for singers. E, it's very, very high, very climax, okay. Ciliary, body. Y, plus 1 Father, 25, 25, okay. So yeah, the ora serrata, it is the terminus. It is the terminus of the retina. But I was shocked at how glaring it was for Father. So ora serrata, slice it in half, 5 letters on the left, 5 letters on the right. Father, Father. Ora serrata. Okay, so retina is there. So sclera equals Father. That's the wrapper around the retina, or that's the overall outer wrapper, white. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing how these gems are all solvable. I'll just do a little extra work on, yeah, the iris for easy. I would just quickly love to shove the cornea in there and find fathers and half fathers and see what he's got in the cornea. Okay. There's a lot of ways to slice this up. We know that cornea is a flawless for Christ. Like in order, going backwards, you have 1 + 1, 2 + 2 is 3 3s. It's very obvious that cornea goes to Christ. Very perfect. But now I'm just hunting for Father in there. I am. Okay. So you have an I am Father. Alright. Certainly more to come. And then how about the lens? I just want to get my understanding filled in here. Lens equals Holy Father. Or no, excuse me, equals Holy I Am. Let's see. Okay, yeah, when you say the lens, now you get the famous tens, cent, which equals Father. And you also get the half Father C. That's really cool. The lens, okay? Now you have a love Father coming at you. A lens is what allows you to see. So the half Father, 29 in the lens, is C, going backwards, S-E-E. And then what's amazing is that left over is the word love. Now we've been finding love Father combos like crazy. The greatest commandment, love Father. And so that's exactly what I see in the letters the lens. Okay, you have the half Father, the glaring S-E-E, to see with the eyes, half Father, the lens, the rest equals love. Okay, so the lens, love, half Father. And then lenses, okay, that will bump it up to 78. Okay, it'll still parallel the half Father. Now if you look at, okay, that's cool. And if you look at the lens, if you take off the cent, which equals Father, and you're left with H-E-L, that equals 25, which parallels Father. It equals his great name, All, the All. Okay. So if you say the lenses, that'll be Lord Father again. We saw that previously. Okay. Just scooping up more flavor on all the anatomy parts and going to the center of it all. It's very satisfying that way. Alright, so eye anatomy is being worked on. Yeah, the sclera is the white of the eye. Cool. It's amazing. We've been getting Christ Father. So cornea goes to Christ, sclera equals Father. So when you put the two together, it's a Christ Father combo. And interestingly, yeah, speaking of the sun in cornea, you can get S-O-N, letter for letter, R-A-O-N. But put, yeah, beautiful threes, cornea plus sclera. Okay. Father, Christ. Alright. Yeah, in animals they have the colored scleras. Wow. And then there's 4 layers of the sclera, from outer to innermost. This is important because you have the episclera. That just parallels Father because epi adds 30 points. Episclera is epifather. Then with next up is stroma. That's amazing because that's Father plus dead center Father. The word star. And then lamina fuchsia. And that parallels father as well, endothelium. That's on the inside. Okay. Cool. Episclera. Wonderful. Okay. Oh yeah, this is good too. So the sclera is also known as the white of the eye. And when you say the white of the eye, that parallels father as well. Sclera, white of the eye. Even just white plus eye, okay, parallels father, and then you're just adding more 3's to the party. White plus eye equals 100, okay, father plus 42, and then you just add more 3's with the other words, the white of the eye. That's what the sclera is. Okay, so sclera equals father, and then when you say the white of the eye, that also parallels father. Okay, it's really high. It's Father plus Holy Ghost, 129. It contains mainly collagen, which equals Jehovah. My part does not normally show. Okay, so I wanted to check up on, I wanted to do a little more diligence on pupil. Oh yeah, pupil ends in father. Can't believe I didn't preach on that. There, see, that was the glory I was waiting for. And then we talk about pupils, that puts father at the dead center. There we go. So we know that pupil, oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. So father is on the bookends of pupil, father is on the end of pupil, and then when you say pupils, father is at the dead center. There, see, that was the revelation I needed. I was like, we know that father is at the center of everything. It's like, we know, so pupil equals Jesus. Like, okay, sclera equals father. But the pupil, okay, so pupil, there's father on the end. Wow. And the P gives you the +1 offset. The rest of the letters divided by 3, so it's like the central father deal. Beautiful, beautiful. Pupil. So there's father on the end. Gets the last word on pupil. He also gets the bookends and symmetry, and then there's only one thing better than one pupil, and that's multiple pupils. Then that puts father right at the dead center. Father, your eyes, your pupils were ordained to stare at the letters father. And they were ordained to see the father, and amazing. So that's so cool. So pupils now is father plus 35. Okay. Interestingly, when you say the pupils, now you have like father at the center plus 34, 34, which is center father, center father. So like the pupils is like a father, father, father triple. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. There you go. If you say the pupil, you've got Lord, Father, sliced in half. The P is Lord, which parallels Father, and then pupil is another Father. It's just amazing how Father gets the last word. So pupils, Father, center. And then anytime you pluralize something, the final S goes to Father. Like pupils is pure +1s. P, P, S, the rest of the letters divided by 3. So technically and perfectly it is a father, father, father triple if you want to be really picky and split it apart into 3 teams. pupils. Okay, like I already detailed. It's Father perfectly, 58, the dead center, and then a P and an S, both parallel Father. Or you could take two. You could strive for even teams. Probably the S with the I, that's 28. Okay, that's Father minus 30, and then the PL is another 28, and then the PU is 37, 9 points higher. So you get 3 pupils. Okay, it's irresistible for Father. Pupil, the pupil. Okay, very glaring. The pupil ends in Father, and then a pupil is also a student, and the word student parallels Father, SENT, and then students ends in Father, and students is Father, Father, double, and you can, the pupils sitting in the classroom. But I'm here to say that all pupils, all students, and all pupils of eyeballs were meant to stare at Father. Father, Father, Father is the linchpin, the key of the entire story in which you live. Like, this is real. This is not fake. There's not a second universe. There's not a second English language. There's not a second history book. There's not a second set of letters on all the named things of history. It's baked. The spelling is baked, and everyone knows it's baked, and it's all baked by God's sovereign hand. The spelling is perfect for the glory of His personal names. He foreordained it. Once you know that God is perfect, and that letters are perfect, and that words are perfect, you study words like crazy, and you see the names of God perfectly in all the names and words of history. And that is worship, and we get the whole human race on this. We'll see a generation of blessing and worship and pleasure to God and man that we've never seen before. Okay, that's what we call a good idea. Okay, so pupils puts Father at center. Beautiful. You can go pairwise. P-U-P-I-L-S. Father, Father, Father. In pupils, the pupils of your eyes. There. See, I knew I had to. I knew you have to go to the center of everything, the most important of everything, and you have to see the Father in it. Because that's just the way it is. It always is. Take this center of everything, take the most important of anything, and find Father. Find 58, 29, and you will not be disappointed. It's always in the center. It's always on the end. It's like... So there's 3 things to point out from the letters pupil for Father. He takes just a P-U-I-L. So this is so cool. If you take the P-U-I-L, the bookends equal the P-L equal the dead center Father, all even numbers. Take the U-I, that equals the bookends Father. So like shoom, shoom, in pupil, Father. You're just like, duh. And then the P left over in center is another Father, all by itself. Just bang, bang. Okay. Pupil, Father, Father. Pupils, Father, Father, Father. Just loaded. Maximum efficiency. That's why you have to slow down to see all the glory, because it's so maximum. It's just so efficient. You're so used to saying these words without realizing how glorious they are. But now you know. Okay, so pupil, Father, bookends. Smoking hot word. There. The pupils of your eyes. What are you going to stare at in your life? You have to stare at Father. The name Father. Okay. Hence this YouTube channel. Hallelujah. Okay. So we solve your pupils. The iris goes to Father. Watch this. Corneas. Corneas is now a Father, Father, Father triple. From the inside out. Corneas. I'll show you how that works. RN. Or I'm going to pick the half Father. Yeah, I see. Oh, yeah. So go to the center of cornea. There you have the exact same design. It reminds me of the word oxen, which is, and the word exit, which is Father perfectly. Well, now you just have an offset of 6, but flawless. The center of the word cornea. And then when you pluralize corneas, now you get the great I am. So you get the I am Father. Yeah, that's what I was seeing. Like the RN is half Father plus 3. The OE is half Father minus 9. You see that, and so you see the Father at the dead center of cornea. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah. So there's like Father at the center. Alright, so we solved some of the biggest things in the eye. That took a lot of work, but it was worth it. Squaring, okay. So always go to the center. The hyaloid canal. Well, there's more to pick apart. Ooh. Are you kidding me? The hyaloid canal. Hyaloid canal is the father. This number is 1346. Amazing. I just saw the father binding hyaloid together with canal. In the center. The center of hyaloid canal is father. What is the hyaloid canal? Well, we'll find out, won't we? It's amazing how everything has a name. God's sovereign over it. So, hyaloid canal, which has father at the dead center, is a small transparent canal running through the vitreous body from the optic nerve disc. Optic nerve goes to father perfectly. To the lens. It is formed by an invagination of the hyaloid, a membrane which encloses. It's crazy. What is its purpose? What supplies blood to the developing lens? Oof. And then after birth it contains lymph. And its purpose is to facilitate changes in the volume of the lens. As the lens expands in positive accommodation, its volume increases. This results in the compression of the hyaloid canal so that the volume of the eye remains constant. Like I said, go to the center of things. Hyaloid canal has father at the dead center. Mathematics. Oh, yeah. Excuse me, from Lloyd to can. Amazing. I mean, even the last word, yeah, the word canal goes to father. Crazy. So, hence solving the parts of the eye in detail. Like the vitreous body. So the whole thing is wrapped up in sclera, which equals father, but on the inside is vitreous body, which parallels father perfectly. And if I shove that in here, vitreous body, trio equals father. Body ends in half of father. Let's just be simple about it. Pop off the word. Oh. So you got to put these words on top. Vitreous body. That puts father at the center of vitreous. And then what's left over is pure threes. 117. Okay. The vitreous body. Ay, ay, ay. Nerve goes to father. Sheath perfectly goes to father, because that's what wraps. Father equals sclera. Sheath goes to father. Sheath is father plus 3. That's glaring. The optic nerve, pretty important piece, isn't it? We know nerve goes to father, and optic just keeps the party going perfectly. Like, you could not ask for more. In fact, optic nerve equals Jehovah Father. And it's glaring to me, the 23s that I'm seeing for Jehovah in those letters. TC 23, IN 23, RE 23. There, I just found triple I am and optic nerve, which equals Jehovah, and the rest equals Father. What is the optic nerve? Well, it's a very important piece of anatomy that's allowing you to see me and everything you've ever seen. That's the elementary edition. Thank God. Oh man, the optic nerve equals Jehovah Father. But I slowed us down there. Like, this is critical information. Like, if you don't believe me, then ask your eyeballs. The optic nerve. So optic nerve So optic nerve equals Jehovah Father. But I told you the screaming detail on Jehovah. So watch this. Watch the optic nerve hit it out of the park. I already preached it in order. Wait a second. Am I missing some? TC. Jehovah is at the dead center of optic nerve, composed of the triple 23. And I think I may have, did I miss something on the rest equaling Father? Are you kidding me? Take a look at this piece of information. So first of all, we're talking about your eyes, and the optic nerve is pretty critical. Well, look at this. Optic nerve equals Jehovah Father. But look at the centrality, and we've been seeing words like crazy that put Father in 4 letters on the bookends, like the word crown, okay? And the word number. Well, let's just make sure our math is, yes, our math is flawless here. Now, I want to walk you through this, because this is now an equation that is, in my opinion, more important and more famous than E equals MC squared, because this tells me who to worship for creating my optic nerves, and all the optic nerves and all the animals and all the birds and all the fish and all the optic nerves and all the humans for all time. So optic nerve equals Jehovah Father. Well, look at the details. This is what hit me like a truck. This is the glaring stuff that was just hitting me. Look at the 3 23s. Okay, I got to turn off this light so it's not arguing with this. I probably need to clean the lens. That's why it's having these issues. But TC 23, IN 23, ER 23. That's 3 teams of 2 letters apiece that equal I am. You can do the same thing with Jehovah. HO 23, VA 23, GEH 23. Triple I am, because there's 3 members of Jehovah. Okay? I am. I insist on writing this, even though it's taking me time with one hand. So there's your triple I am and optic nerve. Now this equals Father. And we've seen a ton of words that have Father at the bookends perfectly. Okay? And you go ahead and slow down on these letters. Okay? And E equals an E. It's not, there's not as much like equivalence, you know, letter for letter, but that's, you know, 27 plus, yep, and there it is, Father. Amazing. Amazing. I would, wow, I mean, an O equals an FAH, you could say that, an E equals an E, and then a V differs by only 2 points from a T, and then a P differs by 2 points from an R. So it's very, very tight if you slow down and look at it, but that is glaring. So then we just say the optic nerve, like, which is common, then, you know, you have the Father, you have the Father, Jehovah, or, you know, Jehovah the Father. Put the on any team that you want. Now, what's amazing when you, that's a big gem. What's amazing, in fact, I'll start another video, it's such a good one.